Welcome back to NFL Imperialism, a series where I spin for team selection and direction, letting the NFL teams attack and expand until one team remains standing. Usually in this series I'll throw in like 5 or 6 power-ups to shake up the game, but this time, let's try 26. Welcome to Super NFL Imperialism. Now before I reveal the full catalog, let's touch up on some details. As always, the winning team in a head-to-head matchup gets to steal a player from the losing team. In the result of an expansion, the team in question gets to pick up the best player in the free agent pool, which is the best possible player not on a team or on a previously eliminated team. No quarterback swaps are allowed in today's episode. There are 26 total power-ups today because there are 26 total unclaimed states, so an expansion today is an automatic power-up, which is how teams get power-ups in the first place. So now, let me introduce you to the entire catalog we have today. And of course, we have the founding fathers of power-ups first: Afterlife, Clone, Double Trouble, Bandit. You know they had to make an appearance today, but Rewind and Evolved are finally back in Imperialism. Same story goes for Juice making a return, and then some power-ups we had last episode which I really liked: Bloom, Blitz, and Prisoner of War. And then the Gambler power-up returns, but it's going to be a little bit different. And then our first new power-up today is going to be Gunslinger. Then some more new ones. We have Bulldozer, Alliance, Parasite, Magnet, Landmine makes a return, and then Fortified. And then we even have some superhero themed power-ups with the Flash, Hulk, Spider-Man, and Hawkeye. And the next two we have Clover and then the return of Redeployed. And then our final 2 power-ups today will be Investor and Unicorn. Of course, you'll figure out what these power-ups do once we land on them, but now let's get to placing the power-ups on the map. Here we have a combination generator. In this first list, we have every unclaimed state that's on the Imperialism map. And then on the second list, we have every single power-up entry of today's episode. So once I click this right here, an unclaimed state will be matched with the power-up for today's episode. And here is the combination list in total. We'll go ahead and place all these power-ups on the Imperialism map. Well, here's the starting map we're looking at. I think I'm frying my brain's dopamine receptors just based on the amount of colors I'm taking in right now. Seriously, it looks like I just ate a pack of crayons and threw it back up on my screen. But let's talk about the biggest winners and losers, talking about position-wise. And no surprise, tonight's biggest loser is going to be the Miami Dolphins. The Falcons could be sneaky athletic today. They share a border with 2 superheroes, Hawkeye and Spider-Man. They literally could assemble the Avengers. As we know, the biggest running gag in Imperialism is the Denver Broncos always expanding. The sky's the limit for you guys. I mean, seriously, how many power-ups do you share a border with today? But yeah, this could be the craziest Imperialism episode to date, so go ahead and pick your winner, make it obscure as possible. Hell, the Carolina Panthers could win today for all I care. And one more thing before we begin turn number 1, this is a part of the mainline series, which means we will have updated stats and standings at the conclusion of today's episode. So stick around to the end to see the full history of the series as well as the movement in the Imperialism standings. So let's finally begin turn number 1. Well, I can almost guarantee you the first thing that's going to happen is going to be a power-up expansion with the New Orleans Saints. The Texans are still an option, however, as the Saints will be traveling towards their right. And just as I expected, we're wasting absolutely no time. For our first power-up today, going to be Bandit. For the Bandit power-up, this team will get to steal 2 random players from 2 randomly selected teams. Well, this is definitely the fastest we've ever seen the Bandit power-up go into effect. Let's see what 2 players they're stealing, starting from a player from the Dallas Cowboys. Well, not even a full turn in, and the Cowboys are already catching strays. They just lost their best player in Michael Parsons. And just like that, the Saints are the scariest team alive. They're also going to steal a player from the Washington Commanders, which will be another X-factor on the defensive side of the football in Jonathan Allen. Now let's give New Orleans the best free agent player, which is currently David Bakhtiari, because no teams have been eliminated yet. And of course, a turn does not end until a team is eliminated, so still on turn 1, we're going to the LA Rams. I don't even think a power-up is an opportunity for the LA Rams, as they're going up to the north. Well, we might as well go and start planning the obituary for the LA Rams. This is very sad. On the bright side, however, IR is in effect for today's episode, which means the Niners don't have Christian McCaffrey, so maybe the LA Rams have a chance? Hold up a second. 1 game in, and one of the major contenders are already on upset watch. The Rams just need 50 yards on a slant completion. The 2-2 Atwell make it to the 38-yard line. Puka Nacua is also on the IR, but Cooper Kupp is still on the field for the LA Rams, surprisingly. This is another first down. Is the Niners defense just getting torched this bad today? I guess that's just what happens when you have to play against the GOAT 2-2 Atwell. 3rd and 5. Rams needing the 5 here, wanting more. First down to the 5-yard line. Again, 2-2 Atwell. And this is an easy touchdown. Don't tell me it's 2-2 Atwell, man. I don't know why this dude is so good in Madden. He's like essentially the equivalent of Kendavious Caldwell-Pope in NBA 2K. Sean McVay is going for 2 to make it a 3-point game. I don't know why they didn't go 2-2's way. He had a 1v1 coverage. It's going to be a stop short to Kyron Williams, and so the Niners can win with a field goal. The Rams got to prevent Brock Purdy from getting about 30 yards, which is easier said than done, and there's already like half of them right there. They call their final timeout, however. That's DeJuan Jennings. If San Francisco cannot hit the sidelines here, it could be the final play of the game. Brock Purdy to the sideline, perfection. That's in field goal range too. And so San Francisco's wasting absolutely no time. It's going to be about a 45-yard kick to take the lead. Yes. Well, the last resort for the LA Rams is maybe a pass interference call. Matthew Stafford has to get this football off. He does towards the right sideline, and no, game over. The Niners steal it away. So unfortunate, man. I was hoping to see more of my glorious King Tutu Atwell perform today. And so obviously the Niners player still today is going to be Tutu Atwell. Nah, I'm just playing, but Cooper Kupp's not an IR for whatever reason, so he's going to be the player still for the San Francisco 49ers. Well, the unfortunate part of every Imperialism episode, somebody's got to go first. This time it's the LA Rams. Turn number 2, we are going to the Carolina Panthers. I'm telling y'all ain't ready for this Carolina Panthers run today, as they're going towards the Northeast. Well, unfortunately, Carolina, you cannot escape the United States of America for your own safety. You have to stay here and expand just barely to Virginia to give you the Bloom Power-Up. The Bloom Power-Up will turn this team's highest rated rookie into a 99 overall. Oh man, my name is Xavier Leggett, man. I'm now 99 overall, the Bloom Power-Up, man. It's just how I talk, you feel me? The real question at stake is, will Bryce Young be able to get the football to him? Here's the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys looking to rebound after losing their prized possession in Micah Parsons. They're going up north. And in courtesy of the Oklahoma Panhandle, the Cowboys will be getting their first power-up, which is the incredible Hulk. The Hulk power-up will make this team's left end, right end, and first rated defensive tackle gain plus 10 strength and plus 10 toughness. Real quick, I was so distracted to try and do Xavier Leggett impression, I forgot to give him a player for expanding, which is going to be Tre'Davious White. Now back to the Hulk power-up. The first player upgraded is going to be Dexter Lawrence at left end to a 99 strength and 99 toughness. Their starting right end, Marshawn Nealon, goes up to 88 strength and 93 toughness. And then their starting defensive tackle, Osa Odidi Izuwa, goes up 5 overall. And then their player acquisition for expanding is going to be Rob Havenstein at right tackle. 3 power-ups down and only 1 team down, but that could change here with the Arizona Cardinals. Honestly, the Cardinals could be a threat. They've looked pretty dangerous so far this season. They're going towards the West Coast. Well, another close call, but the Raiders couldn't escape it this time. The Cardinals are traveling to Vegas. Well, the Raiders have been pretty scary to start this NFL season, but they'd be a whole lot more scarier if they can get a touchdown and the 2-point conversion. Handoff to Zamir White. Does he get the outside? Yes, that's the touchdown. Now they need to add 2. Very important play. Devontae Adams and Jacoby Myers are the out receivers. Are they going to pass the football? Yes. Gardner Minshew looking to pass. He's in a little bit of trouble here, and he avoids the sack, but he can't avoid it this time. The Cardinals remain in a 2-point lead. Well, if Kyler Murray can turn into a game manager for the final 3 minutes, they can walk out of this with a victory. That's going to burn a lot of time for a 7-yard pickup. Never mind, this dude's faking an injury. That stops the clock. Raiders are to start calling timeouts now. It's a handoff towards the outside. Max Crosby reads James Conner perfectly. Loss of 1, timeout 1 called. X Factor activated for Max Crosby. I don't blame him for running the complete opposite direction, but it does nothing. Loss of 3 yards. The Raiders might get the football back. Does Kyler Murray decide to pass the football? No, it's going to burn the final timeout, but plenty of time to get a field goal for the Raiders. Raiders take control from their own 25. They're going to need about 45 yards, and this is caught to the 44 by Jacoby Myers. There was a lot of traffic involved. It looked like it was intended for Brock Bowers. Speaking of Brock Bowers, there he is. First down to the 33 and out of bounds. They got to be careful not to burn up the entire clock. Gardner Minshew's going to take a sack. Oh no, they have to get to the line quick. We're under 8 seconds. Do they get the field goal off, or do they get anything at all? They line up with 3, 0 seconds on the board, 5-second runoff, a generational choke by the Vegas Raiders. You know, I guess what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Please, let's actually leave this one in Vegas. Do not talk about this one. I don't think Max Crosby wants to play another snap for a team that just sold him so bad like that. Welcome to Arizona. Well, yeah, the West Coast is wasting absolutely no time today. Goodbye, Raiders. Imagine being eliminated when there's still more teams and power-ups on the map. Here's the Tennessee Titans. If I know one thing for sure, they could definitely use a power-up, which will be close. And as in close, I mean right on the money to our next power-up, Spider-Man. The Spider-Man power-up will gain plus 10 agility, plus 10 awareness, and plus 10 catching stats to this team's wide receiver 1 and running back 1. Well, this is going to boost DeAndre Hopkins above a 90 overall to a 94. This dude was once Spider-Man before. I'm glad to see that he's back in his prime. And even better, Tony Pollard's going up to a 92 overall. It's a huge jump from where he was previously. And then, of course, the player they pick up for expanding is going to be the player just left from Vegas, Devontae Adams. Well, we got all these weapons in Tennessee. Hopefully, Will Levis doesn't pull off some stupid shenanigans again. But here's the Cleveland Browns. Unfortunately, power-up is not an option for this team, as they will be traveling down south in Ohio. And well, I don't think it would be an Imperialism episode if we didn't have the Battle of Ohio in here. It's going to be the Cleveland Browns traveling to the Cincinnati Bengals. Well, it's been a touchdown warfare in the Battle of Ohio, as the Cleveland Browns will start with the football in overtime, tied at 42. We could very well see a team put up 50 points today, which is archaic in today's NFL, but Amari Cooper first down to the 41. I mean, seriously, touchdowns in this new season are down a lot. I feel like a lot of field goals have been happening, but here's David Njoku, another first down to the 42 inside Cincinnati's territory. Now, could the Bengals make a stop here? It's 3rd and 5 for the Browns offense. First down easily to the 30. Another 3rd and long in situation. This time they're going to need 8 yards. Deshaun Watson on a cross. First down. I don't know how many 3rd downs Cleveland Cleveland's have gotten so far, but it's worked out every single time. Deshaun Watson steps up for it, has a lane, and now has a rushing touchdown to make it 48-42. Well, hopefully this won't be week 1. Burrow will be watching in overtime as he needs a touchdown. Here comes Myles Garrett, but he outruns him and picks up 8 yards. After taking the almighty back shot from Myles Garrett, it's going to be 3rd and short for a gain of no yards. On 3rd and short, Joe Burrow goes play action and completes a Jamar Chase to the 48-yard line. From the 38, Joe Burrow pass, good first down inside the 20 and more to the 9-yard line. 1st and goal. All of a sudden, it's 3rd down and goal. They have 2 tries to find it to the end zone. This is going to be stopped to the 1-yard line by Jamar Chase. This could be game. Cleveland is stacking the line right now. Just 1 yard needed on 4th down and goal. What does Joe Burrow decide to do? He's going to throw the football, and Jamar Chase in the back of the end zone, touchdown, extra point ties it. Granted, Evan McPherson makes this extra point. The winner of this game will score over 50 points. Watson to pass on 3rd and short. Njoku's gonna be tackled for only a gain of 1. I think they gotta punt the football. No, hold up. Cleveland might get the football right back. I don't know why they're running the football thinking they're gonna pick up a 1st down like that. The Bengals have to punt. I'd say 10 more yards will do the trick. Watson's gonna pass the football. He's in a little bit of trouble. He gets out of the pocket, gonna run for the 1st down inside the 40-yard line, 2-minute warning. And then here's the kick to finally put it into this game. The Cleveland Browns, with a stunner, will win with a grand total of 52 points to the 49 put up by the Cincinnati Bengals. I feel like this gotta be a scoregami. This definitely has never happened in NFL history. What an absolute masterclass of quarterback play today. It's unfortunate only one team can survive this game. I'm sure Jamar Chase was throwing a temper tantrum on the sidelines during that game, but good thing he's on the opposite side of it now. He's going to Cleveland. I'm not gonna lie, I cannot recall of a time where the Browns actually won this game. Good for Cleveland. By the way these games are going, this could be one of the longest imperialisms yet. We're going back to the Saints. What do the Saints decide to do this time? It will be towards the north, and the Saints will be the first team today to get multiple power-ups. They already started with the Bandit. Now they're getting a fun one. This is Parasite. The Parasite power-up might be a little hard to explain, but essentially a random eliminated team will become the Parasite of this team. They will replace their territory once they are eliminated. I'll explain this a little further. So I probably explained that horribly, but here's a wheel with the 3 so far eliminated teams. Whoever it lands on will become the Parasite of the Saints, which means the next time the Saints lose, this team will replace them in their territory, which will be the, I can't tell it's black, the Cincinnati Bengals. So yeah, this power-up actually doesn't benefit the Saints at all. It benefits the Bengals for when the Saints lose, if they do today, but at least they get a player for expanding, which is kind of funny because the Saints player still will be a player from the Bengals. So once Cincinnati comes back, they've already lost Jamar Chase and now Trey Hendrickson. So now the Bengals will patiently wait for the Saints to be eliminated as the team that knocked out the Bengals is going again. Browns now control the full authority of Ohio, and they're going down south. Looks like we'll have another power-up go off the board. This time it's the return of Evolve. Evolved is back, and it works how it used to. Essentially, this team's bottom 2 players will get boosted up to the overall of this team's 2 best players. And this is actually a big win for the Cleveland Browns because their best player is Myles Garrett at a 98 overall, which means their 2 very worst players will be becoming matching overalls with Myles Garrett. So if we go ahead and sort this by overall, the worst 2 players is going to be a tight end, probably a long snapper, and Charlie Hewlett, and then Sam Kamara, defensive tackle. So now as you can see, there's 3 98 overalls in Cleveland: Sam Kamara, Myles Garrett, of course, and then Charlie Hewlett. And then for their expansion player, they're going to add Micah Hyde. So many teams are going to be good today. We're going to Kansas City. This team could go the entire episode without getting a power-up, and they could probably still win. They're going kind of towards the southeast. Well, the Chiefs are traveling to Soldier Field. Honestly, this matchup might be considered cyberbullying. I don't know what's more surprising, the Bears putting up over 20 points or Caleb Williams actually having a chance against the Kansas City defense. He's going to start with a 1st down to DJ Moore, or just short at least. So let's try a 3rd down and 10 from the 38. Under 30 seconds, Williams escapes the pressure and runs for a 1st down, crosses midfield. Their final timeout's called to the 47. 3rd and 10 with 16 seconds remaining. Williams is in some trouble, cannot take a sack. He gets rid of it, but it's going to be 4th and 10. This could be the final play. Here comes a blitz by the Chiefs, and it doesn't pay out. And it's going to be caught by Keenan Allen, but however, he couldn't get out of bounds. This game is over. So Kansas City honestly probably should have won by more, but they'll take the victory over the rookie-led Chicago Bears. And the last thing we needed to see Mahomes add to his team is an X-Factor receiver, this time being Keenan Allen. Well, good for Kansas City to pick up a win, but they're going in the completely opposite direction than all the power-ups on the map. Did we expect much different in Chiefs versus Bears? Probably not, but here's the Commanders. They are sandwiched between the Ravens and Panthers. It's got to be somebody. I think that's Carolina. Well, isn't this just the greatest game of all time? The Commanders traveling to Carolina. Yay. Am I seeing this right? 45-14? Andy Dalton, is he this good? good? You see, Carolina, this is what happens when you bench Bryce Young. It was all his fault to begin with. Well, we might as well just keep on stacking up Andy Dalton's weapons. We'll add Terry McLaurin. I'm telling you right now, what I said in the intro, I was not lying. The Panthers could very well win this episode. Yeah, y'all ain't ready for this Panthers run this video today. We're going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And as always, it's the same story for the Buccaneers. It just depends what this arrow is closer to. It's either going to be the Dolphins or the Jaguars. Their attack will be closer towards the Miami Dolphins. And I'll go ahead and tell you right now, I think Tampa Bay is favored because Tua's on injury reserve now. Skylar Thompson's the starting quarterback for Miami. Looks like we've had a dogfight here in Miami, as if the Buccaneers can score a touchdown, they could go up 8 points, giving the ball back to Skylar Thompson. But Miami could definitely stop him to a field goal. What are they doing? Do they want to kick a field goal? Well, as I was saying, Miami's going to stop to a field goal here, which will make it 20-16 unless Baker Mayfield somehow finds a first down inside the 5-yard line to the 4. From the 1 yard, another handoff to Rashad White. This time he's in, and it should be an 8-point game if they kick the extra point. So let's begin the 2-minute drill. Thompson with his first pass. It's going to be a slant. Don't tell me that's Braxton Berrios. What is he doing as wide receiver number 1? Playing some hurry-up offense. Looks like Tyreek Hill is going to be the motion man. Is he going to go his way? No, it's not. To the other sideline, Jalen Waddle, first down inside Tampa's 40. They call a timeout with 1 minute and 12 seconds, looking for a check down to a chain. He gets a block, and he's going to have another first down, and is going to stay in bounds to the 15. Never mind, he actually got out of bounds, so that saves a lot of time. Here's a handoff for a first down inside the 5-yard line, 2nd and inches, under 60 seconds now. Not to mention, it's 3rd down and inches, so they still need to get the first down as well. Thompson's going to drop back, and he loses about 10 yards, 4th and 13. So the game comes down to this. Skylar Thompson needs at least 13 yards, and that's not even close. What are we looking at? This game is over. I kid you not, I just pulled up the standings, and this is only the 4th ever time the Buccaneers have won in Imperialism, so good for them. And of course, it only makes sense to give them the best receiver in the game, Tyreek Hill. Yeah, I don't think we've ever seen the Buccaneers come out of Florida. Could this be the episode it finally happens? Wow, we just went 2 turns without a single power-up use. That's kind of crazy. But here's the Atlanta Falcons. If they can get an arrow to land on South Carolina, that's a power-up, and that's going to South Carolina. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, the Atlanta Falcons might be really good. This is gonna help them a lot. Now, the Hawkeye power-up will increase the awareness of the defensive secondary. The cornerback 1, the safety, and the free safety will gain plus 10 play recognition, plus 10 zone coverage, and plus 10 man coverage. So our first upgrade goes to our cornerback 1 with AJ Terrell. He was an 89. He goes up 5 overall to a 94. Jesse Bates now goes up to a 98 overall. And then their safety, Richie Grant, only goes up around 4 or 5 overall. But then on top of that, for their expansion player, they're going to add Jalen Ramsey, another X factor to their cornerback room. They definitely have the best secondary right now. They also share a border with the Jaguars and Panthers. They're definitely in a pretty solid position. Here's the Denver Broncos. I've been waiting for you guys to show up. So yeah, talk about an automatic power-up. It just depends which ways it's going to go. This time we're going to the West Coast. And it looks like the Broncos will be getting the Double Trouble power-up. For Double Trouble, this team gets to steal 2 players for every successful win rather than 1. And then for their expansion player, they're going to bolster up their left tackle with Teron Armstead. Now the real question is, will the Broncos actually win a game? Here's the Jacksonville Jaguars. Well, same story for Jacksonville like Tampa Bay. It just depends what it's closer to. It's either going to be Buccaneers or the Falcons, in which the Jaguars will be traveling towards the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So now it's time to see if the Buccaneers can win back-to-back games and take control of the entirety of Florida, which I literally just said like 2 seconds ago. Well, the same story as last game. Essentially, the Buccaneers are up by 8 points, and they just got to stop their team from scoring the touchdown and 2-point conversion as the Jaguars down by 8. Trevor Lawrence held to a 3rd down and 4, and this is going to be a 4th down and 4. Can the Buccaneers force yet another turnover on downs, this time against the Jaguars? They will not. One more play before the 2-minute warning. This is actually going to be a long shot, and on the stride, this could be a touchdown for Brian Thomas Jr. as he falls to the 5-yard line. 2nd and goal from the 6. Trevor Lawrence is going to step up and run, but another tackle in field, burning time. Buccaneers need 2 more stops. Trevor Lawrence in some trouble. 4th and goal. Can the Buccaneers make back-to-back goal line stops? Lawrence sends Ingram in motion and dropped inside the end zone, which is going to give the ball back to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now they just need 1 first down to burn all the timeouts. Broken tackle. There's the first down. Buccaneers will win. And for what I believe is the first time ever in Imperialism, the Buccaneers are the lone team to come out of the state of Florida. And so another X Factor joins the Buccaneers with Josh Hines down at right end. Now, even though the Buccaneers take control of their full entire state, they're still kind of trapped. There's a long way to go from here. 7 teams down. Who's going to be number 8? Could it be the Buffalo Bills? A power-up is not in play here. Let's see what they decide to do as they go south. And a very close arrow, but it hits the left side of Pennsylvania, which means we're going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Well, instead, we're going to overtime where the Steelers start the football. Maybe they can do something different with this time, as it's going to be a 9-yard pickup to Jalen Warren. Fields handing it off to Warren. Again, another first down. Great blockers up the field, and that's going to bring him to the 47-yard line in Bills territory. Fields to pass this time. Hopefully he doesn't take a sack. He gets the ball off, and George Pickens with a contested catch to the 23. Another pass for Justin Fields, and this time it's going to be a touchdown for Pittsburgh as they take a lead in overtime. Well, at least Josh Allen actually gets the football in this overtime. He starts with the first down to Dalton Kincaid. I lied, that's Dawson Knox. Here's another pass by Josh Allen. This one's completed to the 38. Curtis Samuel went up for and got the reception. Allen's going to pass for a third time in a row, and it's working perfectly as they're already inside the 10-yard line. This time to Khalil Shakir. Looking for the equalizer. A fourth pass in a row for Josh Allen. This time he's actually going to run for it, and he's going to pick up around 5 yards, but fumbles the football, and the Steelers recover, meaning this game is over. Of course, it ends with Josh Allen fumbling the football, because why would it not? And now the Steelers, who are just like the Buccaneers, who've been bad in this series historically, finally get a win against the Buffalo Bills. So the Steelers will add 87 overall Gregory Rousseau. You know, as I think of it, maybe it would have been a better thing if Josh Allen didn't get the football at all in overtime. So here's a quick map update. We've eliminated a quarter of the league, which means we have 24 teams remaining. We also have 18 power-ups remaining, so let's continue with turn number 9. I believe it's turn number 9 where we will pick up with the Kansas City Chiefs. I wonder how many penalties it will take for this team to get a free win. They're going towards the East Coast. Well, I have to say that's rather unfortunate. The Indianapolis Colts have been playing pretty bad under the quarterback play of Anthony Richardson, and now they have to play Patrick Mahomes. At least it's a home game. However, as I figured out last episode, Anthony Richardson is the second coming of Tom Brady in Madden apparently, so he's actually playing a pretty solid game against the Kansas City Chiefs. And already at midfield, Anthony Richardson just needs about 20 more yards on a cross to Mo Alley Cox. First down, and he breaks the tackle, and honestly, he might run for the end zone, but getting tackled at the 13. And now to walk it off with a field goal kick, to my surprise, the Kansas City Chiefs have got bounced pretty early on today. And the Anthony Richardson legacy run continues as he takes down the defending champions. And though this dude is averaging a staggering 2 catches per game, he's still a 99 overall in Madden, so Travis Kelce's going to Indianapolis. It's honestly surprising the Chiefs have yet to win an Imperialism episode. I mean, this team is the highest rated team in Madden, and they still can't get it done. Thankfully, we stopped the Chiefs from getting any power-ups because that would have been deadly. The Denver Broncos up next, in which the Broncos share a border with 5 different power-ups. I imagine it's going to be one of them here. And not even a question, this will land on a new entry today, which is Investor. The Investor power-up will make one player gain 5 overall for every turn survived. So the Broncos won't get a player upgraded right now because they have to survive the turn first, but anyways, for their expansion player, solid pickup, Chris Jones. Yeah, this might be the most catered episode to the Denver Broncos ever. Here's the New York Jets. They have 2 power-up possibilities, but more than likely this will land on a team. Let's see. Well, what an absolute crazy arrow spin this was. It barely avoids the New York Giants. It cannot fit through Vermont. Instead, it's going to go through Massachusetts. The Jets are traveling to Foxborough. Already into Patriots territory, it's Aaron Rodgers going to throw his first pass so far as he has a completion inside the 20-yard line, I believe, Mike Williams. That was actually Malachi Corley. It's past the 2-minute warning. It's going to be a 3rd and 8. Interesting situation. Even if they don't get this third down, they can still play for field goal, but Rodgers, knowing Rodgers, gets the touchdown, and they can take a 1-point lead with the extra point. Again, this is the Corley. Sorry for disrespecting you earlier. Under 90 seconds, keep in mind, all they need is a field goal, and Jacoby Brissett throws the worst interception I've seen today. Jets take over. Funny enough, the Patriots have a chance to get the football back. Breece Hall, and never mind. So the Jets escape with a 17-16 victory over the New England Patriots, and usually a player still from New England never does anything, but this is actually a solid upgrade with Jabril Peppers. Yeah, that Jacoby Brissett interception was the most Will Levis play I've seen today, and Will Levis hasn't even played today at all. And so now the Broncos have survived turn 10, their investor goes into effect, which makes Chris Jones a 99 overall. But maybe I can speak the Titans into existence. No, we're going to San Francisco. The Niners decide they will attack up to the north, and I guess this means another power-up activated going to an expansion in Oregon. Bulldozer is pretty simple, but this team's running back will become a true 99 overall. You know, low-key, I could not think of a more fortunate team to get this power-up other than the San Francisco 49ers, because Christian McCaffrey obviously not playing today. He's on IR. Their backup running back, Jordan Mason, is now a 99 overall. And for their expansion player, they're going to pick up this Wreck-It Ralph looking dude at center, Creed Humphrey. And just like that, the 49ers are back to full strength. But let's go to Philadelphia. Do the Eagles go after the power-up in New Jersey? Yeah, I think they will. Once again, we are seeing a lot of close arrows today. Either way, it would have been an expansion for a power-up. I'm going to give it New Jersey here. And looking at this legend I made, New Jersey will give them the Flash power-up. They just missed out on the rewind in Delaware, so let's see what Flash does. For the Flash power-up, this team's quarterback, running back 1, and wide receiver 1 will gain plus 10 speed and plus 10 acceleration. Yeah, this might be the best superhero power-up. Starting with AJ Brown, the wide receiver number 1, not an IR, so he gets upgraded here. He's going up to a 99 speed and 99 acceleration. Same goes for the running back 1, 99 speed, 99 acceleration, Saquon Barkley. And exactly the same here, Jalen Hurts. We know how much he loves to run. He's going to be 99 in both categories as well. We're slowly running out of good players still for expansions, but still, Trent McDuffie's solid pickup at the cornerback position. We're going through our power-ups pretty fast, but there's still 15 remaining, and the Jets might get another one right here. They can definitely get one. They just need an arrow to land towards the east. I think that's going towards the east. And I take everything back. This is the craziest arrow we've seen today. I mean, this just barely hits the black of Connecticut. Even if we bring it down to 1 pixel, you can see it grazes right here. And my rule for it is, if it touches the black outline, it goes towards the state. It's an expansion, which means the Jets will get Connecticut, and this is actually very important. important because Connecticut is the one and only Afterlife power-up. I'm sure you already know what this does by now. And so the Afterlife power-up is easiest to explain. It gives this team a second life. And on top of that, I didn't even realize there's still an X factor in the free agent pool. Keenan Allen is going to the New York Jets. I believe that's 3 straight power-ups here in turn number 11. We're going to Tennessee. Will Levis has finally been summoned. What does he decide to do? He goes up north. And this is probably the most clear-cut error we've gotten in a minute as the Tennessee Titans are traveling to play the Cleveland Browns. I'm kind of glad the Titans have the ball for a final drive because I want to see Will Levis make some dumb mistakes. Point proven. I mean, this dude's got some weapons now. Keep in mind, he's picked up Devontae Adams and they got the Spider-Man power-up. So DeAndre Hopkins is upgraded. So is Tony Pollard. There is somebody right there. First and 10 to the 47. And out of all the weapons I just named, somehow Tyler Boyd came up with that catch. Here's a slant pass, which is going to pick up around 6 yards. Somehow breaking a tackle actually picks up 9. The Browns also got a solid power-up from themselves. They got the Evolve power-up. This is going to be a first down to the tight end to the 32. 2-minute warning for Will Levis. He's going to pass the football. He's looking pretty solid right now. Close to another first down to the 22. So 3rd down and 6. Opportunity for both sides of the football and almost taking a sack. Luckily, it's still going to be 4th and 6. Myles Garrett coming in hot. So they need the 6 yards here. Will Levis, first down inside the 10. He's been loving Tyler Boyd this drive. Can somebody else get involved? This is going to be a touchdown to the tight end. The Titans will take a lead. I believe that's a Kwankwu with a touchdown if I pronounce his name correctly. Well, Diddy Watson comes on the field with 50 seconds and 3 timeouts. They just need a field goal to go to overtime and not going to get it there. Funny enough, that was intended for their new 99 overall tight end, which they got from the Evolve power-up, and Deshaun Watson goes down for a sack, loss of 6. Not looking too good. 3rd down and 16. Watson, first down. Amari Cooper to the 46. They call timeout number 2 at 39 seconds. Deshaun Watson intercepted by Tennessee, and the Titans will take a victory. Of course, it's L'Jarius Sneed, the new pickup from Kansas City. Well, this is the Will Levis we need to see more often. Titans win 20-17. And a lot of good players just hit the free agent pool from Cleveland, but the best one's going to Tennessee. That's Myles Garrett. Gotta say, very surprising collection of teams in this area. The Colts, Titans, and Panthers will share borders. And the Broncos will survive turn 11, which makes Patrick Surtain a 98 overall. Turn number 12, we are going to Carolina. This could put Titans in back-to-back games, maybe or maybe not. Instead, the Panthers will travel into South Carolina, giving us a battle between the Panthers and Atlanta Falcons. As we know, the Carolina Panthers magically figured it out after they benched Bryce Young, so the Atlanta Falcons are down by 8 points to the Panthers, surprisingly, as we go into the 2-minute warning. From the 44-yard line, they're going to need the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. Kirk Cousins barely gets it off, and a first down to the 37 to Bijan Robinson. We're approaching 1 minute remaining. Kirk Cousins needs to throw a pass larger than 5 yards. He does it there to the 17. Falcons burn their second timeout at the 10. Cousins, touchdown to Drake London. 2-point conversion needed to tie. And they better convert it here because they're not getting the ball back. If so, Cousins the pass. He has plenty of time to throw the football. Finally gets out of the pocket. Is he going to run for it? Yes, he will. Makes it look easy. It's a tie game. Now, all that work by Atlanta would mean nothing if they can't stop the reincarnation of Tom Brady, which is not a good start. Dead at the 50 is Carolina. And just like that, 15 to 20 more yards will do the trick for Andy Dalton. He's looking for it right here. Oh, that should have been intercepted. They called their final timeout, so they better not screw this up. Chuba Hubbard has a handoff to the outside. The Falcons blow it, and Chuba Hubbard's inside the 12. The only problem is that the Panthers don't have any more timeouts, so they better get the snap off to win the game. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, they get it off. The Atlanta Falcons will lose to the Carolina Panthers at home, which makes the Panthers 2-0 today. The Panthers have always been surprisingly good in Imperialism. It makes no sense. I mean, so much for the Falcons getting the Hawkeye power-up. They literally updated their entire secondary just to drop an interception when it matters most. But anyways, Jesse Bates is going to be a Carolina Panther. This is kind of making me reminiscent of episode 1 when the Carolina Panthers did essentially the exact same thing. They're going on a run right now. So the top 20 teams and 14 power-ups remaining. And yet another turn of the Broncos doing absolutely nothing, which means they survive. Another player upgraded, Teron Armstead, to at 95. There are still tons of game-changing power-ups on the board as we go to the Houston Texans. They're trapped between 2 teams, so they can't get one of them, but I think they're going to go towards the Dallas Cowboys. And sure enough, it does, so it's time for the Battle of Texas, this time going to AT&T Stadium. I feel like I've seen the same score 20 times today, but the Texans are down by 4 points as Joe Mixon will make it 3rd and 2 at the 46-yard line. So a touchdown is needed. It's going to be another handoff, and it's going to be 4th and short. What is the decision to do here? Houston is going to go for it. I respect it. 4th down and 1 from the 45. It's going to be a run towards the outside, and it doesn't work. We literally just saw this Sunday night. Running towards the outside does not work, especially on 4th down and short. Like, what is the decision there? Now they have to stop the Cowboys from getting a couple first downs. 2-minute warning is in the favor of the Houston Texans. It's a keeper by Dak Prescott, and he picks up 5. And this helps too. Dak Prescott just got injured on that carry, which not only stops the clock, but takes him out of the game. Well, now it's up to Cooper Rush to ice this game. He's going to throw the football on 2nd and 5 and has a completion to the tight end inside the 25. Yeah, I've seen enough. Time to bench Dak for the remainder of the year. They're going to pass the football again. No, Ezekiel Elliott takes the handoff, and now the Houston Texans have to stop him from picking up 2 yards. From the 15, Zeke takes the handoff. First down, Cowboys. choice. Texans can get the football back. I don't know why Cooper Rush is going to pass the football here. If he has an incompletion, that really hurts the Cowboys. This better be in the end zone. Okay, that works. So the Cowboys will take control of the Lone Star State, beating the Texans 24-13, which now moves the Cowboys up to 20 all-time wins in the Imperialism series. And so Dallas adds a second X-Factor receiver in Stephon Diggs, and will now take control of all of Texas and what they already had in Oklahoma. Well, I really hope I'm saying this right, but Quinn Miners just went up to a 90 overall because the investor power-up. So down to 19 more teams, here are the Seattle Seahawks. This is either a power-up or it's against the San Francisco 49ers. It's going to be close. Close won't cut it, unfortunately. It's going to go through Oregon, owned by the Niners. They just missed down the gambler power-up. We're going to San Francisco. The decision was punt, and it was a good one because they're pinned inside the 6. Brock Purdy has to get rid of this football. Somehow breaks a sack, and he's actually going to pick up yardage. He breaks 2 tackles and gets a first down and still going to the 28. The fact that Seattle cannot get a safety right there is crazy, and now the Niners are at the 49 after calling their second timeout. Maybe Seattle can force a stop around midfield too. 2nd and 10 for Brock Purdy, and he gets this one off for 3rd and short to Jordan Mason, now at 99 overall. They also burned their final timeout, so that's not a good sign. This is going to be batted down at the line, 4th and 3. Niners start the football in overtime. Brock Purdy starts with a slant. This is going to pick up 8. Handing off to Deebo Samuel, who's going to go to the outside, loses a couple yards, 3rd and 4. We have a 99 overall running back, and we're not running the football with them. This is a 3rd down and short for the Niners, and they're not going to get it. They have to punt the football. Now Seattle can win it with a field goal. Good start to Kenneth Walker. 1st down to the 35. Geno to pass the football. He gets it off before Nick Bosa can get to him. That's a gain of 6. I would not want to give the Niners another chance. They need a conversion here. They'll get it. Kenneth Walker, 1st down, 47-yard line. Kenneth Walker, another handoff, another 1st down. He's carrying the load for the Seahawks in overtime. They just have to manage now. They cannot throw any interceptions. This is a 1st down within the 10. A field goal Wednesday game for Seattle. I honestly don't understand why we're still passing the football. This is very risky for Geno Smith to do, but I guess they'll just run it in for 6, and the Seattle Seahawks will upset the 49ers in San Francisco with a final score, of course, of 27-21. As for their player acquisition, Fred Warner's one of the greatest defensive players in football right now, so this was an obvious choice. This will also leave some solid players in the free agent pool, including 99 overall Jordan Mason and Nick Bosa, but anyways, the Seahawks take control of majority of the West Coast. So once again, the Broncos survive another turn. What's new? It's going to be Garrett Bowles going up to an 88. This is probably the last one I'm going to show you on camera, but still I'm going to upgrade every player as we go on. 18 more teams to go. We are going back to Seattle again. I guess they really want that gambler power-up, which is a good thing because it definitely will help them. So yes, this does cut through the top of Idaho, which will reward them with the expansion and the gambler power-up. Now the gambler power-up is a little bit different than you might remember it from past episodes. This team gets a dice roll to upgrade their players. We'll go ahead and do that right now. Okay, so if you watched NFL Bounty, which was my last video, you probably already know how this works, but essentially the first dice is going to be a roll 1 through 6. It's going to upgrade that amount of players, and the second one will upgrade that amount of players to that amount of overall. So what will the Seahawks be upgrading? 4 players going up 6 overall. So solid upgrades for the Seahawks. Fred Warner goes up to a 99, Kenneth Walker to 94, DK up to a 94, and Tyler Lockett up to a 94. And then on top of all that, the player they get for expanding will be Nick Bosa. I like to imagine that's one of the best expansions and power-ups we've seen today. We're going back to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So looking at the map, Tampa has 2 options. It's either the Panthers or the Titans. As always, whatever it's closest to. They're the only team to make it out of Florida, but can they make it further than that? That's going to be closer to the Panthers. Now, if the Buccaneers can win this NFC South game, they'll take control of a lot of the East Coast, but the Panthers have been red hot today, so they have to be careful. Both of these teams have won 2 games today, so the winner will make it 3. Tampa Bay needs a field goal, and they're inside Panthers territory with this pass completion to Rachaad White. Mayfield the pass from the 39, and he's intercepted. This is probably going to be a pick 6 for Carolina, and the Tampa Bay run will probably end right here, and that's a touchdown. I believe that's Tre'Davious White, who they got from an expansion pickup. It is. This throw was essentially identical to the Will Levis pick 6 we saw this week. I mean, what was Baker Mayfield looking at? Just a simple curl route read perfectly by Tre'Davious White. Last call for Baker and the Bucks. They need a touchdown, or better yet, 13 yards. Well, they get the 13 yards here. Mike Evans outruns the secondary to the 20. Is there a chance? I don't think so. Only 30 seconds remaining. Mayfield has touchdown, and now they need a field goal. Well, I saw an onside recovery last episode. Can we see one this time? And no, the Panthers easily scoop it up. Well, let's make it 3-0 for the Carolina Panthers today. This is what happens when you switch to Andy Dalton. Never thought I'd be seeing this player steal, but here we are. Tyreek Hill is going to the Carolina Panthers. Yeah, this is actually crazy. I don't care who the Panthers beat. As long as they're winning games, they're proving to me that they have a chance today. But it might get real scary for the Panthers because sooner or later, they might get matched up against the Ravens and the Tennessee Titans. We're approaching the halfway point of teams remaining. We're going to Green Bay. A lot of tough opponents sharing borders with the Green Bay Packers as they're traveling kind of close to the Lions. Yeah, the Packers are going to jump over Lake Michigan to play the Detroit Lions in Detroit. This is a tough game for both teams, really. Jared Goff and the Lions have done their job to putting up 28 points. Now they have to stop the Packers from putting up a touchdown as the Lions call a timeout. That saves some time for Green Bay to work the clock as Musgrave gets a first down to the 45. Don't tell me have to put Malik Willis back in the game. Jordan Love, furthest throw he's thrown so far. It's going to be a first down to 38, but we're still running the clock. We're approaching under 20 seconds. This better be at least a 30-yard gain for Green Bay. Just not working out right now. They call their final timeout. Down to 12 more seconds. Jordan Love in some trouble, and down he goes. This is going to put it into the game. The Detroit Lions will take over the land of Green Bay. And that was an awfully executed drive by the Packers. The Lions take control 28-23, which means Jared Alexander is going to Detroit. And I gotta be honest with you, I cannot recall the last time the Lions beat the Packers in Imperialism, but at least they did it here. So as we stand, we're down to 16 remaining teams and 13 remaining power-ups. So turn number 17, we are going to Baltimore. I haven't seen the Ravens at all today. They're wedged between the Eagles and Panthers. Do they get an expansion here to Delaware? And once again, another arrow decided by absolute pixels, but it comes in contact with what I believe is Delaware's state line first, so we're going to give them the expansion here. And as we have it listed to the side, Delaware is going to give us the Rewind power-up. And Rewind is back in Imperialism. It's been a minute. It's really easy to explain. This team gets a 99 overall Hall of Fame player from their team history. And Rewind is always such a fun power-up to do. I'm adding Ray Lewis back to the current day Baltimore Ravens. And not to mention their player still is going to be Jalen Ramsey at cornerback number 1. Looks as Baltimore is gearing up for the first game as we go to the Indianapolis Colts. If the Colts can start going out west, they might claim a power-up, which they are going west. Well, it wasn't west enough because it's actually going to hit through Wisconsin, now owned by the Detroit Lions, which means the Lions are playing back-to-back games. This time they have to go on the road to Lucas Oil Stadium. Well, Detroit is in an interesting situation. They're held to a 3rd down and 6. They better get this first down because I don't think they're in field goal range. Jared Goff, easy enough. First down, David Montgomery to the 34. From the 18, Goff up the middle to Amon-Ra St. Brown inside the 5-yard line. And interestingly enough, Dan Campbell calls the timeout, which stops the clock for the Lions. They really want this touchdown, and they're going to get it. It pays off. It's going to be 35-31, but the Colts will get the football back. 1 minute to go for Anthony Richardson, and this dude, once again, I just don't understand why he plays so good in Madden. It's a first down to the 39. We know Richardson has the arm strength. He needs to start acting like it. Somebody has to be sitting on a streak. That's going to do nothing. It's going to be 4th and 8, batted at the line. Could be the final offensive play for Indianapolis. That's what I'm talking about, but it's going to be an incompletion. If we could have done that for the first 3 passes, maybe it would have paid out, but the Lions take over on a turnover on downs. So Detroit successfully closes it out in Indianapolis, winning 35-31. Now, I've yet to say Travis Kelce's name in a game yet, but I feel like it's going to happen once he goes to Detroit. And so the Blue Empire takes over the Blue Empire, leaving 3 Blue Empires remaining in this area. And I'm wearing a different colored flannel for turn 18. We're going to the Cardinals. It's been a minute since we've last seen Arizona, as they will be traveling towards the northeast. And from their logo that graces the top of New Mexico, giving us our next power-up and expansion, this is Landmine. Now, Landmine makes a return, but it's completely different than it used to be. Essentially, this team gets to steal a player from a team when they land on their territory, and it has a maximum uses of 3. I feel like that's another power-up I explained horribly, so let me try to go more in depth. So you can see we have these teams, the Broncos, Cowboys, Seahawks, Chargers, that share a border with the Cardinals. If they end up landing on it with an arrow, then they will lose the player to the Arizona Cardinals and will spin again for a new team to play. And of course, you can see there's a 3 on the power-up icon, which means this has 3 total uses before it disappears. And so for their player steal, 99 overall Jordan Mason finally finds a new home. You're probably thinking, why did I screw so many teams over by not giving him first? Well, X Factors just perform better in Madden than in normal 99 overall. But still, 11 more power-ups to go. We are finally landing on the Minnesota Vikings. I've been waiting all day for this. That's because they share a border with multiple power-ups. Let's see if they get one. Oh, they are. And so this arrow is going to go through the northwest, which hits North Dakota, giving us a new entry today. This is Magnet. The Magnet power-up can be pretty strong. It's going to steal a random power-up claimed by a different team. So I have been waiting for the Magnet to make an appearance today. These are the 5 power-ups which are held by teams right now. We have Double Trouble, Landmine, Investor, Afterlife, and Parasite. And so the Vikings are going to steal one of them away here. It's going to be Landmine, which the Arizona Cardinals literally just got. Well, everything I literally just explained for the Arizona Cardinals, just swap it out for the Minnesota Vikings, as they now hold the Landmine power-up. And as for their player steal, it's going to be 98 overall Sam Kamara, who came from the Evolved power-up from the Cleveland Browns. About time the Vikings got landed on, as we're going to the Dallas Cowboys. It's a good thing the Landmine's not in Arizona's possession anymore, because they could easily land on it, but instead they're going the opposite direction. And by an opposite direction, it's a dead shot for the Bayou. I think this is the first game that New Orleans is playing today. It's time to see if they're really legit. Well, in real life, the Saints mop the floor with the Cowboys, but here it's a little bit different. We have overtime between the Saints and the Cowboys, 3rd and 3 upcoming. If you're a Bengals fan, this is probably the only time in your life you're cheering for the Cowboys, because remember, if the Saints lose, the Bengals take over. First down to CeeDee Lamb to the 47. Good to see the Cowboys are finally using their $500 million duo effectively. CeeDee Lamb again. Prescott drops back, 2nd and 4, completion inside the 10 to the 6. Can the Saints make a goal line stand from the 2-yard line? 2nd and goal. Dak Prescott is flushed out of the pocket, gonna run for the end zone, and he makes it through. It's gonna be a 6-point lead. So Derek Carr needs needs to respond with a touchdown, or else there's going to be a... Oh my goodness, you have to be serious. I couldn't even finish my sentence before he got intercepted. I was going to say if the Saints can get a touchdown here, then maybe there won't be a murder tonight in New Orleans, but definitely somebody's getting killed. Maybe 5 people instead. And with the very first offensive play for the New Orleans Saints in overtime, they throw a pick and it ends it there, and the Dallas Cowboys are proving that they are still the best team in Imperialism somehow, in some way. You know, this has got to be the first time this ever happened in Imperialism. The player steal is a player that they originally had on their team. Micah Parsons, welcome back to Dallas. Well, Bengals fans, you can finally rejoice because you are joining the map once again. So as you can see, kind of unfortunate for the Cowboys because they don't gain any land, but the Saints are now gone and the Bengals take over. So we still remain at 15 teams, only one of them is a little bit different. Let's go back to the Broncos. What power-up y'all be claiming this time, Denver? Let's go up north. Well, as if claiming 2 power-ups was enough, why not make it a third one? I believe this is Fortified. I think this is a sneaky solid power-up. Fortified will make this team's O-line gain +10 in all blocking stats. There's no telling how good this power-up is going to be, but I can tell you that Teron Armstead's now a 99. Their left guard Ben Powers goes up to a 75. I kid you not, their starting center went up 10 overall. He's now a 73. Quinn Miners from earlier is now a 93. And then same goes to the right tackle. He was absolutely horrendous. He's now up to a 74, so that's an upgrade at least. And then their expansion player is going to be George Kittle. It would be absolutely hilarious if the Broncos get bounced the first game they play, but here's the Steelers. We haven't seen them in a minute, and last time they played, they beat the Buffalo Bills, but they're going south this time. And once again, a very, very lucky arrow. It just avoids this panhandle part of Maryland, and it's going through West Virginia, giving us the redeployed power-up. Redeployed makes its return in Imperialism. Essentially, this team swaps location with a randomly selected team, so it's definitely the least powerful power-up on today's episode. Well, this could either make or break Pittsburgh's remaining run in this video. Whatever team it lands on, they're swapping land areas with, which is going to be the Denver Broncos. About time. They can't get any more power-ups. I was just saying that it'd be funny if the Broncos actually have to play some challenge after they get all these power-ups, and that's definitely going to happen. They share a border with the Eagles and Ravens, and they still keep their power-ups, by the way. And I gotta say, the Steelers definitely got the best out of this power-up. They now share a border with 3 new power-ups, and the Seahawks, Cardinals, and Vikings, who they share borders with, definitely not as threatening as the teams that are in the Northeast. And then the Steelers player pickup, it's going to be the evolved Cleveland Brown, Charlie Hewlett, the tight end. Well, power-ups are flying off the board now. We're down to 10, and the Arizona Cardinals are up next. I imagine they're wishing they still had their power-up as they're going towards the West Coast. Don't really need to draw an arrow for this one because it's a dead shot for the LA Chargers in SoFi Stadium. One more play before the 2-minute warning. Kyler Murray is going to throw the football. It's a first down inside Chargers territory. 2nd and 10. Murray is going to throw the football. If he can get it off in time, there's a flag on the play. Probably should have been intercepted. Let's see what the call is. Roughing the passer? I didn't even see Kyler Murray get touched. Maybe I'm tweaking, but that's the most scripted penalty I've ever seen. Here's a first down on the slant to Marvin Harrison Jr. inside the 10. So who will Murray throw to this time? 2nd and goal at the 6, and touchdown for the Cardinals. They take a lead with James Conner. Another play like that, and you might have to start thinking about a touchdown. Intercepted! Buda Baker jumps in front of the curl. We've seen this so many times today. The curl route is the worst route. I mean, look how easy it is to jump right here. He just stays there, and Buda Baker just jumps right in front of it. So the Cardinals drained all the timeouts of the Chargers and win this game 27-24, which will reward Arizona with Derwin James Jr. Well, now there's only 2 teams that control the West Coast, the Seahawks and the Cardinals. So down to 14 teams, here are the Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys will be attacking towards their northeast. Well, this is an interesting matchup, and I'll talk more about that once we get to the end of the episode, once we look at the standings. It's the Cowboys and the Bengals going to Cincinnati, even though they don't even reside in Cincinnati anymore. Actually, you know what would be cool? What if they played in New Orleans instead because they took over their land? Yeah, let's do that. Well, I love making up rules on the fly, but anyways, if the Bengals can hold on for a minute and 10 seconds, then they can win their first game back since becoming the parasite. Here's CeeDee Lamb, who's been a huge involvement for the Cowboys today. 2nd in inches at the 31. They gain yards, but by attacking up the middle of the field, they're going to burn about 20 seconds. Prescott's going to waste a lot of time in the pocket. His offensive line is holding up pretty well, so he's going to run for it. No, he shovel passes it to Ezekiel Elliott, who gets tackled in bounds, and that's probably the stupidest thing that could have happened right there. And just like that, we're down to one final play, which Dak Prescott's going to go down in a sack to end the game. The Bengals win their first game back, and it takes down the Dallas Cowboys 29-24. Now, I'm going to give CeeDee Lamb to the Bengals. Keep in mind, they lost Jamar Chase when they lost to the Bengals. They somehow won that game without him against the Cowboys, so let's replace him with CeeDee Lamb. This has given me a lot of deja vu from last episode. Essentially, the Bengals did the exact same thing. Come from the dead and start winning games. Turn 21 with 13 remaining teams. Back to the New York Jets. Tough area to play, but at least they have the afterlife power holding on to them, and they're going up north. And this arrow is clear as day. We finally get the Battle of New York and turn number 21. Well, I apologize to all my Giants fans who waited this long just to watch them lose 26-7. Definitely the worst part of Imperialism is when a team does nothing the entire episode and gets bounced in 1 second. Point proven. So Dexter Lawrence is going to New York. The Jets, that is. I mean, even though the Jets have the afterlife power-up and got a second win, not too impressed. They've just beat up on the Patriots and Giants. I need to see a real competition out of them. So quickly on to turn number 22, where we go to Tennessee. The Titans are attacking towards their northwest. Well, the Titans are not backing down from a challenge. Their arrow is going to land in the land of the Detroit Lions. So we're going to Ford Field. Will Levis legacy drive upcoming. 3 minutes to spare. This is the first down inside Lions territory to the 44. Will Levis drops back, passing again. First down inside the 20, Davante Adams. Will Levis to pass on 2nd and 9. Slant. End zone. Touchdown. Titans take a lead. Once again, does Will Levis not realize we have Davante Adams and Spider-Man D-Hop? Why are we passing to Tyler Boyd? I mean, if he's open, he's open. So to make it a touchdown difference, going for 2. Horrible pass, but there is a flag. Pass interference defense. Okay, Titans get another shot at it. So let's try that again. 18-17 game, looking for the 2, and easy enough. Titans up by a field goal. So 2-minute drill and 3 timeouts. I'm sure the Lions get a touchdown if they really wanted to, unless Jared Goff throws an awful interception. We've seen so many late drive interceptions today, and this one's going to be returned to the house for 6 points. The Titans will win this game. Chidobe Awuzie on the interception. At least it wasn't a curl route this time, but there was just too much traffic in front of Amon-Ra St. Brown to force that ball there. And while I was sitting back on my phone watching Instagram Reels, Jared Goff threw another interception. And so go figure, the Titans keep it rolling. They win 27-17. Well, he's yet to do anything all episode, but I'm telling you, man, I got faith. This is the team he's actually going to produce on. Travis Kelce to the Titans. I can't believe how much of a threat the Titans are this video, especially with Will Levis as their starting quarterback. But hey, look at them go. Turn number 23. Here are the Cincinnati Bengals. So they're going to be making even more moves as they will travel towards the west, which is quite the distance they have to travel. They're going to attack through Texas and get to New Mexico under control of the Arizona Cardinals. We're going to Glendale. Got ourselves a game in the desert. Joe Burrow first pass in the flat, picks up about 6-7 yards. Ellen DeGeneres drops back to pass. First down to CeeDee Lamb, the new addition to Cincinnati. In sync, Justin Timberlake's passing the football again. Another completion to CeeDee Lamb. Looks like Guy Fieri wants to run one more play before the 2-minute warning. It's a first down to Zach Moss. I ran out of blonde celebrities to call this man, so we'll call him Joe Burrow again, and rightfully so, another first down to the 43, CeeDee Lamb. 3 straight completions puts Joe Burrow on his X factor, and it's going to be another first down. Can't get out of bounds, however, so the Bengals call their first timeout. They have to find the end zone. They also have to burn some time. Burrow! First incompletion we've seen from Burrow so far, and another completion, CeeDee Lamb. Oh, he fumbles the football! Oh my goodness, that is the worst thing that could have happened. I don't think I've ever seen a receiver fumble the football yet, and was that even a fumble in the first place? Did he have possession? Let's see. Oh yeah, that's possession, 100%. Oh, it could be close to down though. Down by contact with a knee possibly. Here's the review. Bengals, I think he's down. That's a maintaining possession. So the Bengals get the ball back. 3rd down and 6. Touchdown to Cincinnati. They take a 1-point lead with 36 seconds. It goes to Mike Gesicki. Now I imagine the Bengals will go for 2 in the instance to make it a field goal difference, in which they will. Burrow's gonna pass the football from the 2-yard line, in some trouble already, and he avoids the sack. Does he have the angle? Oh, that was close, but stopped short. Guess who stopped him too? Max Crosby. He keeps it a 1-point game, which means Arizona can go down the field, get a field goal, and win this game. Kyler Murray comes on the field. He needs about 30 to 40 yards, and there's about 7 of them. Why didn't he get out of bounds there? Ball is spotted at the 36-yard line. Kyler Murray has time to throw the football, and it pays out, getting cross midfield. Timeout called to the 48. Still about a 56, 57-yarder from this exact position. We're going to stay right in the middle of the field to James Conner, and the Cardinals will call their final timeout at the 37-yard line. They're in range. Let's call it a 50-yarder for, I believe, Matt Prater to win the game against the Cincinnati Bengals. It's up. It's through the uprights. Cardinals by 2. I wouldn't call this game over quite yet, actually. If the Bengals can get like a 30-yard completion and then call a timeout, they have a shot as well. Joe Burrow's on his X factor. He has plenty of time to throw the football. It looked like a little bit of holding on Max Crosby there. He throws it up. It's actually caught, but there's 0 seconds on the board. Wow. And so the Cardinals will survive, winning 36-34. All thanks to that Max Crosby tackle, the 1-yard line on that 2-point conversion. Well, what a game that was, which means now CeeDee Lamb is going to Arizona. And this is probably our biggest territorial change as far as landmass yet, as the Cardinals will take control of all of Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, you name it. But our final 10 contenders are the Seahawks, Steelers, Cardinals, Vikings, Titans, Panthers, Broncos, Ravens, Eagles, and Jets. The campaign of the 10 begins now. Let's finally check up on the New York Jets. I'm interested to see if the Jets can actually face some real competition this time. Well, if real competition is the Denver Broncos, then knock knock yourself out. The Broncos have yet to play a game today, so I'm actually a little excited to see how they perform. Real quick, y'all didn't forget how stacked the Broncos actually were, right? I mean, without playing a game, this team has the investor, they have player steals for expanding. Look how much 90s and 80s they have. As I kind of expected, this Broncos defense is low-key capping up Aaron Rodgers, but he can have a legacy drive right here if he can put 8 points on the board, getting us to the 2-minute warning at the 34. Now a 3rd down and 10 for Aaron Rodgers. What he's decided to do here, he throws it and gets a completion, but stepping out of bounds, picking up 1 single yard. I believe that was Keenan Allen, but now they need the conversion here. 4th down and 9. Rodgers finds a completion. 70 seconds. Rodgers towards the end zone. That's the touchdown they need, and now they need 2 more. I remember this exact same thing happened last episode, but Aaron Rodgers couldn't get it that time. Can he get the 2 points this time? Rodgers, plenty of time to pass the football, and he sells again. He just holds on the football too long. Jets did force a 3 and out, so Rodgers does get the football back. Somebody needs to put this man in hospice care. Maybe I should take the Broncos a little bit more seriously, but the Jets are not eliminated. Remember, they got the afterlife power up. However, they might as well be, because remember, the Broncos got the double trouble power up a long time ago, which means they get still 2 players per win. They're going to get Sauce Gardner and Dexter Lawrence. So no territory change. All that happens is whoop. So we stay at the top 10 teams. Let's go to Pittsburgh. Well, not actually, because they've been displaced as they're going towards a power up. I mean, our spinner is giving us some absolutely crazy arrows today. I had to use a straight edge for this one, and there is just a slither of white pixel in between North Dakota and South Dakota, or excuse me, South Dakota and Nebraska, which means the Steelers do get an expansion to South Dakota. They claim the Clover power-up, and I'm not gonna lie, this probably won't help them this late in the game. The Clover power-up will allow this team to gain a higher chance to be landed on by the wheel. The reasoning I say this won't help is because the farther we get into the video, the worse it is to be landed on, and because there's only 10 teams, it means the Steelers have a higher chance of getting landed on in the first place. But you know what will help them? Their expansion pickup, Michael Parsons. This dude's been marinating in the free agent pool for quite some time. So don't be surprised if we see the Steelers again. It got close, but it's going to Minnesota. Are the Vikings finally going to play a football game? It's going to be close. I don't know how many times I've had to say it's got to be close in this video, but it's going to barely miss on Iowa in the power-up, which is going to hit Wisconsin, owned by the Tennessee Titans. So the Vikings are traveling to Tennessee. Through 3 weeks of football, surprisingly, Sam Darnold looks like the best quarterback in the league as he hands the football off to Aaron Jones, who picks up around 7-8 yards. Down to 3 minutes, back to Aaron Jones. He gets the first down and puts on some moves inside the 10-yard line to the 7. Might as well keep on running the football. Aaron Jones takes a delayed handoff, and he is in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Will Levis still has plenty of time. He's actually been playing pretty solid football today. There's DeAndre Hopkins. I've been waiting to say his name all video. This dude's literally Spider-Man. Levis drops back, and first down. I don't even know who that is. Oh, that's Travis Kelce. About time he caught a football. He finally did something, and it matters the most there. This is a low pass to Devontae Adams for 8. Field goal is definitely in play, but why not go for 6? It's a 3rd down and 10. Levis has so much time. Might as well just run it in for an end zone. Oh, he gets leveled. Oh, this is gutsy. Time is running out. They have to at least tie the game or win it with a touchdown, which they will. Travis Kelce's in the end zone. And the first game the Vikings play today, they will drop because the Titans and Will Levis are on a legacy run. Only in Madden. Here's Justin Jefferson now going to Tennessee. Now, I'm actually really surprised this is the first time it's going to happen in this video, but normally in the past, when a team had a power-up and they lost, the power-up would be gone. But this episode, the power-up stays, which means the Titans will now have control of the landmine. And better yet, the Titans actually have a higher chance of getting landed on because they own so much land, unlike the Minnesota Vikings were kind of cornered up north. No one was landing on them. So 9 to go. The Steelers now have a 20% chance to be landed on. Go figure. They better not hit the landmine owned by the Titans. They will not. Instead, they'll give us an arrow going right through Idaho under control of the Seattle Seahawks. Good old Super Bowl 40 rematch. So Seattle needs to force a goal line stop to get the ball back down 20-14. Handoff to Najee Harris. Well, easier said than done. Geno Smith is having so much trouble. Look at that defensive duo on the outside linebackers. TJ Watt and Micah Parsons. So Steelers get it done 24-14. Yeah, why not? Let's go ahead and assemble the greatest defense ever. Fred Warner at middle linebacker. So if the Steelers want to take control of the entirety of the West Coast, they'll have to do another Super Bowl rematch, this time against the Cardinals. Turn number 27, 8 remaining teams. Here's the Cardinals. Will we see the Cardinals versus Steelers? We are going north. You know, the Cardinals better be thanking me that I recentered their logo a few turns ago, because this grants them a power-up in Kansas, which they wouldn't have not got if their logo was still in Arizona. This is a really good one too. It's Gunslinger. The Gunslinger power has the potential to be pretty strong. This team's quarterback will become a 99 overall. So there's just a slight chance that this power might be a little too overpowered because Kyler Murray just went from a 78 overall to a max 99. And on top of that, they're going to gain Nick Bosa, who just got eliminated from the Seattle Seahawks. I think the 2 best teams are on the West Coast right now. Only one of them can come out alive, unfortunately. But let's go to the East Coast with the Panthers. The Panthers will be attacking towards the southwest. Oh no, it finally happened. Somebody fatality landed on the team in control of the landmine power-up, which means the Panthers have to give up a player, which is going to be the best receiver in football, Tyreek Hill. Look at this receiving room. Tyreek Hill, Justin Jefferson, Devontae Adams, DeAndre Hopkins, which now means we have 2 uses left on the landmine. And those 2 teams will not be matched up. Instead, the Panthers will go again. Hopefully they don't do the exact same thing. This would be super unfortunate for Carolina if this lands anywhere left. Well, Carolina, you must surrender another player, which this time it's going to be Jesse Bates. Tennessee does not need another receiver, so Carolina gets to keep 99 overall Xavier Legette. Please have mercy on Carolina. Okay, the Titans are going now. What do the Titans decide to do? They will attack towards the right. Oh, this is completely overkill. You already stole 2 of their players. Now you just want to boot them off the map? Oh, this is evil. This is evil. The Titans win 49-14. They just completely embarrassed the Panthers these last few spins. That might be the worst way to go down in Imperialism history. Now they're going to add Xavier Legette, the 99 wide receiver, and just look at the receiving room now. I mean, complete salt to the wound, but the Tennessee legacy drive continues. So 7 teams remaining, 6 power-ups remaining. There's now a 1/4 chance that the Steelers get landed on, but instead we're going to the other Pennsylvania team, the Eagles. I don't even think the Eagles played a game today as they go straight south. Well, funny enough, neither has the team they landed on. Both these teams yet to play a game. All they have done is expand, and only one team can come out alive. Interesting score here in Baltimore. The Ravens need at least a touchdown. Not a good start. Lamar takes a sack for 2nd and 17. 2nd and 17, Lamar Jackson throws a short pass, which is ricocheted in the hands of Mark Andrews. He gets hip dropped, and we also have a flag on this play. Too bad none of that mattered. That's offensive holding. Well, let's make it 2nd down and 25. Lamar stays in the flat to Derrick Henry. It's 3rd and 26. This is probably the worst drive you could possibly cook up. Lamar Jackson, is he going to run for 26 yards? No, he's going to throw an incompletion. Actually caught for 4th and 11. And of course, everything is 4th down territory, needing the 11 yards. Oh, that should have been intercepted, but either way, turnover on downs. Well, the Eagles tie on an extra field goal to make it 34-25 victory. Well, so much for Ray Lewis making another championship run for the Ravens. I guess I'll go to Philadelphia. I don't get how the Ravens can seriously be the unluckiest team every single episode in Imperialism. They can just never get landed on by the wheel. So, the final 6 teams. Let's go to Philadelphia once again. 3 total options for the Eagles as they travel towards the west. And that's a dead shot for the Denver Broncos. Let's see who wins this one. So it looks like the Eagles should take a lead as they're approaching the red zone of Broncos territory. The question is how much time they end up burning. They're going to get a first down here, which is crucial. You don't want to score too early, however. Barkley takes another handoff, and he's in the end zone. That's not ideal. You take a lead, though. So this leaves about 1:20 minutes for Bo Nix to get in the end zone. His offensive line not holding up as they should be right now, so he throws it up and somehow completed to the 30 and still running inside the 10-yard line to the 9. Timeout called. Cortland Sutton on the catch. Now, if I'm the Broncos, I don't want to score too early here because you'll give the ball back to the Eagles with 1:03 timeouts, which they find the end zone to tie it up at 42. I guess we're playing for overtime. I don't know why they just drained up the entire clock. Never mind. Jalen Hurts with a throw on the run to midfield to A.J. Brown. Well, maybe 10 or 15 more yards will do the trick. First down inside the 32-yard line. This one is to, I don't even know. So now we're just going to hand the football off to Saquon Barkley, who hits the outside, and the safety's going to tackle him inside the 15-yard line. This is an easy field goal kick. And Jake Elliott to win the game for the Philadelphia Eagles, 45-42. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You have to be serious. What just happened? I was on my phone! With 0 seconds on the board, Bo Nix delivered to Marvin Mims Jr. to walk off this game, and the Broncos steal it away. Final score 48-45. Here's what's weird about that game. The Eagles called a timeout with 5 seconds remaining. They kicked the field goal, left 2 seconds on the clock. You're not normally supposed to do that, and it ended up kicking them back as the Broncos will take down the Eagles and steal 2 players from with Saquon Barkley and A.J. Brown. I wish I watched that entire playthrough and I wasn't scrolling on reels or anything like that, but anyways, the Broncos take down the Eagles. This just might be the craziest final 5 teams I have ever seen. I just want to bring this up real quick. The redeployed power-up actually turned out to be the best power-up today, weirdly enough. I thought it was going to be bad, but the 2 teams that got swapped, the Steelers and Broncos, both made the top 5. And now the Steelers take up almost half the wheel, but they're still not getting landed on. Let's go back to Tennessee. Funny enough, there's still a power-up opportunity for the Titans, and it could be. Wow, okay, they got the juice power-up. It's not like they even even needed it in the first place. The juice power-up is back, and it's a little bit stronger than it used to. This team gets 5 players, boosted up 5 overall. Well, the juice power-up is definitely meant for the early game, but now the Titans have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 99 overalls. And then their next best player who's not a 99 overall is going to be the free agent pickup, Jalen Ramsey. The Titans literally have 5 99 overall receivers. Let's just go to them again. What do they decide to do this time? They will go towards the East Coast. And if it wasn't for the great state of West Virginia, the Titans would have avoided this matchup, but instead they have to play probably the biggest threat on the map, weirdly enough, the Denver Broncos. I don't know what's weirder, the fact that it's a top 5 matchup with Bo Nix versus Will Levis, or the fact that the score of this game is 10-5. Bo Nix starts with an incompletion. They call a timeout with 1 minute and 15 seconds. This is going to stay in the middle of the field. Are they going to burn their final timeout? No, time will keep on rolling to AJ Brown. We are now to the 50-second mark, and they need to find the end zone. Bo Nix barely gets this pass off. It's staying in the middle of the field. They might burn their final timeout soon. They're going to save it for now. Under 30 seconds. Can Bo Nix find the end zone late in the 4th quarter again? That's nowhere close, and they call their final timeout with 19 seconds. Can the Titans make 2 more stops against Bo Nix? He has a lot of time to throw the football. He is flushed out of the pocket. What a throw! And they lead 11-10. The Denver Broncos do it again. This time it goes to AJ Brown. Very interesting score, and of course they're going for 2 to make it a field goal difference. Bo Nix doesn't get it. Well, I'm watching every second from here on out. You never know what could happen. Will Levis is in some trouble. They call a timeout. I watched every second of the game to make sure nothing crazy happened, but the Broncos will keep the lead and a win with a score of 11-10. So many good players just hit the free agent pool, but for the 2 players the Broncos are going to get, we're going to start with Tyreek Hill and then Myles Garrett. And we're about to see a huge change of territory here as the Broncos take control of a lot of land. And so now the Broncos will maintain the landmine power-up. This thing has been tossed around like a sorority girl Snapchat. This is the greatest Broncos run of all time. We're going to the Jets, who more than likely will get matched up with the Broncos here unless they can get expansion. Don't think so. Well, it's a rematch for Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. The only reason the Broncos are still here because Rodgers choked that 2-point conversion, but let's see if they can make their second life count. The Broncos have been in this position a lot these last few games. Can they do it once more? Down by 6, needing the touchdown with 1 minute and 30 to go. Are the Broncos finally running out of luck? 3rd down and 1 with 40 seconds. Bo Nix throws it up. Another completion to the 18. Red zone appearance. They call their timeout with 30 seconds, and this is going to be a tackle inside the 6-yard line. They got to get to the line quick. This is it. The final play of the game for the Broncos. Can they do it again with 4 seconds remaining on the clock? I believe Tyreek Hill goes in motion, and it's going to go his way, and they did it again. The Denver Broncos tie the game. Extra point will win. That is 3 games in a row that Broncos have pulled something off like this. Extra points are normally automatic. This should make a lead for the Broncos. Yes. Zeros on the board for Aaron Rodgers to toss it up. No pass interference. The Broncos win 28-27. So there are 2 players still from the Jets, which makes 4 players now because they beat them twice. Will be Keenan Allen and then Quinnen Williams. This is actually the craziest run in Imperialism literally ever. So the final 3 teams, the Steelers, Cardinals, and Broncos. I do want to mention real quick, the landmine power should only have 1 use. It's probably said 2 before, so I had to fix that mistake. And also, there's just no point to show the investor upgrades anymore. The Broncos just have so many 90 overall players that it just doesn't even matter. So this is what I kind of mean the Clover power gets worse as we get further down the wheel, because there's only 3 teams left, which means the Steelers have a 50% chance to get landed on. It's a coin flip essentially, and of course it lands on them. So where will the Steelers be attacking? It's south. And south of them is clearly the Arizona Cardinals, which means the Denver Broncos have clinched their way to the final game today. And now we're going to go to Glendale once more. So the Steelers are up by 3 points, but remember, Kyler Murray is a 99 overall who throws an interception. The gunslinger power apparently doesn't work. Will Kyler Murray get another chance? Justin Fields is going to pass the football. This better pay out. It does. First down, Pittsburgh to George Pickens. And so, believe it or not, Justin Fields is in victory formation, which means the Steelers clinch their way to the final game in this episode. And for Pittsburgh's players still, they desperately need a solid wide receiver, so they're going to get CeeDee Lamb. And we're down the 2 final territories, Broncos country and the Steel Curtain. Okay, so let me mention a few things before our final turn. First of all, if the Steelers get landed on, which more than likely they will because they have a higher chance on the wheel, then they land on the Broncos, they have to give up a player because the landmines still exist. But also at the same time, they can get a power-up, which could help them, we'll see. So yeah, our final wheel spin, it's a 67% chance to land on the Steelers, so I imagine it's going to land on them. Yeah, of course. Now it's time to see if they're actually lucky enough to get a power-up. I don't think so. So yeah, that's a land on the Broncos territory. We have to use the final landmine, which means Pittsburgh loses Fred Warner. I don't even think he played a single snap for them anyways. And so now we spin one last time where the Steelers get landed on again. Can they get the power-up this time? no. Well, it's official. Our final game will be played in Mile High. I don't even know if the Broncos have played a road game at all, but this is it. Steelers or Broncos. Well, we might not be in the final game for long because the game could end very well right here. No timeouts left for the Broncos. They need about 15 more yards. It's going to be close. They don't have any timeouts, so they have to hurry up and get to the ball under 30 seconds. Do they decide to kick the field goal? No. Bo Nix is actually going to pass the football, and he's going to go towards the end zone, but out of bounds. It stops the clock for 3rd and 3. They're going to take the field goal kick. It's going to be about 50 yards, but keep in mind, this is Mile High. For Will Lutz to win the game in the episode for the Denver Broncos, it's good. The Steelers have 5 seconds. This is essentially the shortest final game ever. Maybe the Steelers can get pass interference or a Hail Mary like the Broncos did earlier. It's batted away. The Broncos have done it. Finally! I can't make fun of them anymore. I'm losing my voice. The Denver Broncos have won Super NFL Imperialism. After all those episodes of me calling them expansion merchants, calling them they can't win games, they proved me wrong, and they're going to jump pretty far into the all-time leaderboards. Before I cover the entire map in orange, let me tell you about the power-ups we missed out on today. So Prisoner of War wasn't last episode. Essentially, this team gets to steal a player for their next game. They get a player from a randomly selected team. Then you have Clone power-up, which you probably already know how that does. It essentially gives you a second land area. The Unicorn power-up would have gave a team a 99 overall player for every game they played, and then the Blitz power-up on Rhode Island made a team go twice in a row. And then I was hoping we'd see the Alliance power-up today, but it got placed in a pretty bad spot in Maine. Essentially, the Alliance power-up works kind of like Prisoner of War, but 2 teams can basically trade players between games whenever they play. But that being said, let's go ahead and make it Broncos country. I actually can't believe what I'm seeing is reality. Can somebody please wake me up? I essentially am half asleep right now anyways. Well, that's the conclusion of today's episode, but don't go anywhere else yet because my favorite part of Imperialism is the standings. I keep track of all the standings for this entire series, which has gone about 11 or 12 episodes now, so let's go jump into that. Okay, so you might remember this graphic from the beginning of the video. This is how I calculate the leaderboards with a metric called Imperialism points. As you can see, there's 5 metrics I keep track of, which are turns lasted, wins, losses, expansions, and then an Imperialism win. And as you can see, each category has this value, so if you put it together like the Kansas City Chiefs in this example right here, they have a total of 243 Imperialism points, which is how each team is graded. That being said, let's jump into the standings with our bottom 8 teams. Quite a bit of movement here on the bottom graphic, but there's no movement with the bottom 2 teams, which are still, surprisingly, the Buccaneers and Lions. And looking at the bottom 2 teams, the Lions have over double the amount of last place. The Buccaneers only have 47 Imperialism points. Hell, they haven't even lasted 100 turns on the map yet. Now, why exactly is that? Well, it was a talking point today because the Buccaneers, for the first time ever, made it out of Florida alive. They've never done that before. They've always struggled with the Jaguars and Dolphins, and I don't blame them. But now we're talking about the Lions, which to me are surprisingly not good in this series for whatever reason. They're still at 31st. But going into the 30s and 29s, we have a lot of teams trending down. As you can see, the Rams and Bears drop into the bottom graphic. The Jaguars and Browns going down, but the Jets and Vikings trying to make their way into the top 24. They're going up 2-1. Let's look into the next graphic where we actually see quite a bit of movement. Let's start with the runner-up team today, the Pittsburgh Steelers. They were awful in this series until today. They're actually making some moves. They have a long ways to go though because they're only at 24. They jumped 6 spots and up to 152 IP. Other teams trending upwards include the Colts and Saints and Eagles on this sheet, but some teams going downs include the Commanders, Giants, and Patriots. And you can see at this point, as we begin to make our way into the top 16, every team has at least 200 Imperialism points to their name. So here we begin with the Arizona Cardinals, who've made their way to the top 16 after an impressive performance today, dead at 16, going up 5 spots. The Texans and Bills dropped, but the Titans are another team who did really good today. They were very stacked, and they're going up 4 spots to 13. The Seattle Seahawks are still a really funny team to me because they have a record of 6 wins, 10 losses, and 6 expansions, but they won an episode, so we're at 12 right now. The craziest part about this, however, is that the Kansas City Chiefs got jumped by the Carolina Panthers, who are now top 10. Yes, the Panthers are in top 10 all time in this series. I don't know why. They've been actually decent. And then getting the number 9, the Raiders, who've won an episode as well. They're at 292, which means if you want to be in the top 8, you have to be part of the 300 club. And here is the top 8. Let's just sporadically talk about it. Let's start from the top. The Cowboys still remain the number 1 team. Since the beginning of me stat tracking the Imperialism records, the Cowboys have always been number 1. Nobody has got close, and the Broncos have it between 30 right now after winning today's episode, dropping up 6 spots. The Broncos are also the first team to get over 20 expansions, but now we have 2 teams over 21 wins, which are the Cowboys and Bengals. And as you can see, a lot of these teams really didn't do good today. The Niners got bounced early, so did the Dolphins. The Packers lost their first game. Even the Bengals lost 2 games pretty fast for the time they were alive. But where we're at now, only 3 teams are in the 400 club, and maybe next episode, if the Broncos, Bengals, Niners can go on a long run, then maybe the Cowboys will be dethroned, but I just still don't see it happening anytime in the future. Well, that concludes Super NFL Imperialism. Thank you guys for watching, as always. I will say real quick, I've had delay issues with my voice matching up with what's happening. That's because my videos are just getting so ambitious. Like, these are super long projects that I spend days working on. So I apologize if there's any technical issues or if there are any mistakes I do not catch. I try my best to catch these things. I try to make them as perfect as possible, but either way, the perfect result today is the Denver Broncos finally getting it done. So all support is appreciated. Thank you guys for watching once again, and I'll see you guys next time.